Hello everybody, and welcome to a series that I'm going to be calling Know Your Matchup. So, what we're going to be doing in this series is every video I'm going to be looking at a matchup or a civ on a particular map that I'm really struggling with, and we're going to watch a replay of me playing that matchup or that civ on that map, and we're going to see all the things I do incorrectly, and we're going to think about what I can do to obviously play better and win. And after that, we're going to watch a pro game on in the same situation as I'm in, and see what the pro player does to actually win the matchup when I lost it. So if you don't know what this website is, it's called AOE4 World. It's a fantastic website. It's got a lot of information, statistics. You can watch high-level games here. It's not called AOE4 World for nothing. You can find it all. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to, if I can type, my profile on AOE4 World. And here it's got my match history, as you can see. We're going to go to ranked. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, no, here it is. It's got your civilizations listed, and it shows your pick rate and win rate. So as you can see, I really like to play Ottomans, but I really have no clue how to play them. I pick them in a fifth of all the games, and I lose them a lot. So my first video is going to be about how to play the Ottomans. Alright, so here we have a game I just played over on Twitch. It is on the map Altai, as you can see. I am playing the Ottomans, and my opponent is playing as the English. As you can already see, he's starting with a Rax for a men-at-arms early pressure, which I had not seen. So we're going to go back to seeing what I see. To begin with, I'm just trying to get these deer hunt for the festive food, gather it. Not much to say about this, but here I scout this. And what do I do with that information? I put my villager over to gold. Nope, he stays on wood. Eventually he goes over to gold, yeah. That's just to make sure I can get up to 200 gold as fast as possible, so I can age up and not get trapped in the first age, as so often happens when getting pressured early. Let's fast forward a little bit here. Nothing much is happening. I have my gold, so I bring my bills back. I start chopping wood because I expect I'm going to need to make some towers. Drop a tower to try to secure the sun. You can't do much about it. I go back out to the food. And then I have an idea I think is pretty clever. If he thinks there's a tower there, he's never going to come back, so then I can just save all the wood by not showing, although that obviously supposes his scout doesn't come by. But he's just gone to camp my gold. But I'm like, I've already got my 200 gold for aging up. I'm fine for now. But I do go ahead and drop a tower to secure my gold for the future. Now here, even though, we'll pause it for a second, even though he invested all this into the early pressure, he still managed to get aged up faster than me. So, this is something I want to figure out, like, how I messed up this badly when I look at the pro game, because after investing, each of these is 120 resources into pushing me, as well as having to invest the 150 in the racks. I should be getting up before my opponent, but that's not the case. So what likely happened is I spent too much time idled or walking around or not really managing my economy correctly. So that's something I hope to figure out, because I should not be aging up that slow in this situation. Go faster. So, as you can see here, I'm finally aging up. He sees the tower is going to come through, so he backs off. I lose my scout here in a second, which isn't helpful, but isn't game losing necessarily. And he's just camping my stone. He knows I am the Ottomans and would like to be getting down my military schools, and those take stone. So what I might have, what I possibly should have done instead of what I end up doing is go and try to get a tower here and secure my stone, so I can get out my military schools. But I don't really end up doing that, and it eventually gets to a point in the game where it's too late. Yeah, keeps me losing my scout.
No.
I tried to go for stone because I realized, yeah, I could really use that, but I'm pushed off. I drop a tower to secure the stone. The tower will be fine to go through. I'm on top of the villager game, so I don't lose any. But here comes the towers, so that the English can get the network of castles bonus. And the vision is really nice as well. And it's just a defensive one to fall back on. Just got one villager there, and looking in with the longbows. Now, because of where this tower is, it really can't protect these villas if longbows just show up right here, which is what obviously ends up happening. We could just do a pause to quickly see the game state. Currently, I have 26 economy population, and my opponent has 25, so I actually have a slight advantage. I've got the better food from this, and my opponent is yet to even move on to farms as the English. So it feels like I'm in an okay spot to me, but that does not end up being the case. I'm gonna drop another tower on this hill. Okay, so I automatically see this is ridiculous. This is just shite macro, if we're being honest. Ideally, I'd have had production down and been making units. That way I could have contested this whole thing, and my base would have been far less encroached upon. So, yeah, that's something I see right now. This is not okay. Like, there's just no reason not to have military production down yet. I understand that I have to give this up due to the longbowmen, so I have to move my dudes off stone down here. I'm finally putting up military production. Stables. Also, I'm floating 280 gold, just not doing anything with it. And it's not like I can convert that into units. Although the idea is to use that for like resource upgrades and blacksmith upgrades. It's only useful if I do those things. I've gotten the wood upgrade. I've not gotten the food upgrade. Here my macro is still very bad. I have way too many people on wood. And that's just not what I need to make units. Getting my blacksmith down. From gold to food so I could start having a better macro. One thing that you can do against the English, and I failed to do this, is they really like to have a trickle of reinforcements, as you can see. And what you can do is you can send your troops to go intercept it and just try to whittle out their numbers. Why I didn't do that this game, I don't know. Maybe I was afraid of this. Did I even have vision of this? That's weird. Okay. Well, I don't know if I had vision. Maybe I was just too afraid that he was going to push me, but I'm just happy. These people could be out harassing and they're doing nothing right now. It's basically my point. Comes in with the ram. I'm not that invested in protecting any of this stuff. Most of my goes safely back here, so I don't care if these go down too much. Still floating way too much wood. Although I think I've fixed my macro a little bit. Got a lot more on food than on wood. But at some point, the English just kind of reach a critical mass where they've got a bunch of longbowmen in H2 and men-at-arms and spears. And the men-at-arms mixed with spears are pretty hard to deal with. The longbowmen firing in the back. At this point, I've gotten my food upgrade, gotten my wood upgrade. My opponent, still not on farms. If we see their upgrades, gotten the wood upgrade, not gotten the food upgrade, working on wheelbarrow. So my econ feels like it should be better. They're at 34. I'm at 34. So, although it should be noted that my economy has had to be walking around a lot more than perhaps their system due to the pressure. Only 3 spears right now. I've gotten my ranged armor in this deck. And here I think I make a huge error. Still floating too much wood, by the way. I just go and lose like 4 Spahi for no reason. So obviously just don't do that and I stand a better chance of winning, but I still think there are more fundamental mistakes that I made in this situation that result in my loss. That didn't help. I'm at 45 population. Opponent 63. Like, that's a massive difference. Game's almost over. It's just gonna take me to Ram Ranch, as they say. Fast forward. I try to push the Rams off, but I'm realistically only just buying time. At this point, the game's more or less over. Now I've got the opposite problem, not enough wood. So maybe it's just an issue of my macro being terrible, but I think there's more going on. So I don't have to invest into farms, assuming I last that long, which I don't. So I only got 4 spears. Should be able to whittle the spears down with my archers. Yeah, I don't think I did a good enough job of focusing the spears with my archer. So spear alive. And at that point I just call it quits, but there's no point in continuing the game at that point. So that is my portion of the video. Next we're going to look at how a pro player handles a similar game. So here we see Give You Anxiety, a very good player, often sitting within the top 30 in the world, playing as the Ottomans against actually his brother, Soldier, who's playing as the English. So the same matchup I was in on the same map. This game is going to be happening on Altai. So we see he immediately goes for 5 to stone, presumably to get that military school out as the Ottomans, something you really want to be doing. And his 6th vil go into wood. New vils to food on the sheeps. So we can start to get vil production out, presumably. Builds a mine on the stone mine. Builds a mining camp, which is not something you always see people do. Gathers up enough stone for 1 camp. Transfers his vils to wood. It's probably going to be chopping wood for the military school and a mining camp, so you can get up to the next stage. So I'd expect to see him stop chopping at 150 wood. $200 wood, rather. The military school costs 150 wood. It's an expensive building. $3 to gold. Rest are going to head back to food. It's just going to try to get that age up through. Makes sense. Right now it's just going to be 3 on gold and new vils to food to get that age up through as fast as possible. Makes sense. How would you have played this game differently if there had been men-at-arms pressure? And you'd have scouted it for 1, hopefully. You'd have probably just moved vils out to gold sooner so you could get the age up, or maybe would have built a tower. It's a little hard to say. But now it's just a pretty easy situation of getting the res to age up. Once that 200 gold mark is reached, he's going to transfer those vils to stone, presumably to get another military academy upon aging up to the 2nd age. Contemplating what Grand Vizier point to go for. Now we wait as he tries to age up. I often go for and see people going for as well, the Twin Minaret Madras, but no, it looks like he goes for the other one, the Market. That is interesting. That one allowing you to garrison traders to just trickle in some gold passively. You don't have to have map control like you do for a normal trade. Yep, just stopping gathering that wood at the 100 stone at the 100 stone mark so you can drop the military school. Scouting out his opponent, his brother. Gonna check the stone to see. Okay, and we do see stone from the English, which probably means there's gonna be a second TC drop. So what's he gonna do with that information? That's always important to see. When they acquire the information, what are they gonna do differently because of it? And it obviously means he has more time before there's English units trickling into the base, but by the same token, it means he's on a timer. He has to make something happen before the English just run away with the game. Looks like he's just going to drop his second military school right upon it aging up. Makes sense. Just going to continue to be a pest with those spears. Switching to Spahi production from the schools makes sense. The English going to be making longbowmen. Spearmen don't do too good against longbowmen, so double Spahi production. Sounds about right. Not actually. Okay, now I'm going to be mixing in some traders. Just going to garrison them right up. Maybe. Yep, there you go. Grand Vizier Point, Anatolian Hill. It's going to go for that mining boost and some extra sheep, which is nice. It just delays how long until you have to invest the wood onto farms. Okay, building the blacksmith within the influence of the military schools, which will obviously increase their production speed. Something I don't really do as much as I should. So that's probably just one easy way I can improve my play right there. And as can you. If you play the Ottomans and you just throw your blacksmith down willy-nilly, remember that if you build your military schools within its influence range, they will be producing faster. And now we see some long women coming through across the map for the English player. Just going to try to push that scout off, taking a volley from the longbowman. And now the Spahi come through, and these are just going to shred like low numbers of longbows. Needs to not get caught up on the scout. Looks like he's just going to max out his landmark there with the traders. Just getting a lot of pickups with the Spahi. Really just pushing the English player all the way back to his base. Very nice stuff. Yeah, so one difference we're seeing here from what I did is he made sure to get his production up right away. It took me forever to get production up. And then I just kind of fell over. So that's something I'm noticing. Now it looks like he's gathering to age. Yep. Got the gold. Still going to have the trickle gold from the landmark. And now he's going to do a hard food switch. So it looks like he's repelled the initial few longbowmen. He's got his military school set up, just producing Spahi, which will keep the English out of his face, so he can safely age up and be in the third age, which is where he's going to want to be. I'm going to go for more stone. This could either be to make more military schools upon aging up. Obviously going to go with the Mehmed Imperial Armory for that automatic siege production. Also within the range of the blacksmith, it's important to note. Base building is a valuable skill. It's kind of a lot of people, including me, just neglect it. Okay, no, he's not going to try to match the second TC. No, maybe he is. I don't know. At least gathering up enough stone for a third military school upon aging up. Interestingly enough, we're not seeing any normal military production facilities coming down. We'll see. Presumably he'll want to be dropping those at some point. He's got a Grand Vizier point. What are we going to see? I'm interested to know. First one was Anatolian Hills. Second one is going to be... Nope, looks like just getting enough stone for the military school. Not gonna invest in a TC to match his English opponent. Men-at-arms production from the military schools makes sense. Get those nice Castle Age tech units. It's just gonna be another military school. I'd still like to see the Grand Vizier point come in. And there's just a lot to do right now. Probably forgot about it. His opponent going to be trying for a tower. Now his spearmen to protect those longbows. Okay, and he's going to be making stable. Just get those Castle Age sect units out. Some knights on the field. Very nice. Okay, opting for the fourth military school from the Vizier point. Fair enough. Unfortunate that that bill goes down. Although if you put your production and your blacksmith on the front of the base, like, stuff like that, it's bound to happen. But at the same time, you have shorter walking distances. Now Knight's going to be coming out, as well as one of the drummer units. Metter, I believe they're called, to buff up his army. And are we going to see Soldier hit up to the third age or not? That's the question. And I don't know how efficient it would be, but GUA could think about just making traders out of this market and sending it to the neutral trading post. Although over such a short distance, I'm not sure how effective it would be. But it could be a way to mix in some eco and try to stay even with his opponent, who's on 2 TC. Oh, and now has hit the third age. Soldier has. So is likely going to be on 3 TC. From the landmark. See walls coming through for the English player. Yeah, indeed, we see a second TC, and I'm guessing he aged up with the King's Palace, so that's going to be 3 TC English player. Possibly too greedy from Soldier. Too much of an investment in eco, not enough in defense. And GUA can just knock his door down and win the game, which looks like he's going to be doing right here. Where's the military for GUA? or for a soldier rather. Well, sorry about that. GUA's VOD got a little screwy there at the end, but he did win up to end the game within about 2 minutes of the VOD getting messed up. He just won it with better tech from obviously his uh, Age 3 landmark is the Ottomans, allowing him to have siege advantage over his opponent, and just having better tech units like knights and men-at-arms against his opponent's spearmen and longbowmen, so he was able to win that game. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video and learned something from that video. I know I sure did, and I'm hoping to see this win rate climb a little bit as the Ottomans, as a result of having done this. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. And I will see you in the next video.